This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 1165 of Horse Tip Daily, your almost everyday morsel of helpful hints, useful facts, and practical techniques for horse folks. Brought to you today by Kentucky Performance Products. Lynn Palm joins the Hit'em crew today for a look at the universality of correct position and aids. And we're going to get right to our tip right after this nutritional minute from Kentucky Performance Products.
This Nutrition Minute is brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products, the company that simplifies your search for research-proven nutritional supplements at kppusa.com.
Spring is here, and so are pastures full of luscious green grass. Spring grass is high in vitamins, minerals, and sugar. Most horses have little problem adjusting to the changing sugar levels found in spring pasture, but for at-risk horses, grazing on sugary grass can lead to big problems such as colic or laminitis. By paying attention to daily temperatures and following a couple of simple rules, you can limit your horse's access to such sugar-laden grasses. In the spring and fall of the year, limit grazing or stop it completely when daytime temperatures are warm and nighttime temperatures are below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Under these conditions, the grass produces sugar during the day and it stores it in its leaves. At night, the plant transfers the stored up sugars to the roots and stems to fuel the growth. If the evening temperatures are cold, the grass will not make that transfer and all of the sugar will remain in the leaves where it is readily available to your horse. In the summer, when days are sunny and nights are warm, it is safe to allow grazing in the early morning hours, but it should be restricted late in the afternoon or evening. This is because most of the sugar that was produced the previous day has been used for growth overnight. Therefore, the level of sugar in the leaves is low in the morning. But as the day progresses, the grass once again accumulates sugar in its leaves in preparation for nighttime growth. So later in the day, the more sugar-packed leaves become. Because grass is a great source of essential vitamin E, horses that are restricted from grazing, especially easy keepers and horses in hard work, may develop vitamin E deficiencies. Lack of vitamin E can result in sore, stiff muscles and neurological problems. Elevate Maintenance Powder from Kentucky Performance Products is an affordable way to provide your horse with the vitamin E missing from his diet. Each scoop provides 1,000 international units of natural vitamin E, and natural vitamin E is absorbed and retained in the tissues at a much greater rate than the synthetic vitamin E found in many feeds and supplements. Best of all, when you choose a Kentucky Performance Product supplement, you get a 100% satisfaction guarantee.
This Nutritional Minute has been brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products. You can find all of their terrific products at kppusa.com.
On the three fundamentals that we teach at Palm Partnership Training, it's all about rider's position, which means balance. And second, it's all about communication with the horse with clear and consistent cues and to the horse's education and what he needs. And third is how to put the horse in balance to do something, just like your own position, which means controlling the horse's body alignment. And that's the fundamental for riding. If you got fundamentals for any sport, this is one that those fundamentals we never quit practicing. As much as you want to advance in whatever direction, multidiscipline you want to do, or any breed horse, that it's our responsibility that he's happy in his work, that he's not resisting us in his work.
Question for you, Lynn, about the positioning. I teach English riding lessons, and I'm pretty strict on getting the position correct.
Yeah,
but
we have to be.
Come by. Well, yeah, they come by and they ask me all the time, do you teach Western lessons? And I don't feel comfortable because I don't really know the cues and aids and positioning for Western.
But why should they be different than English? They shouldn't be different than English.
I didn't think it would work. I mean,
it will. Just try it. Get your one rider and you try it and teach him in a Western saddle with a little longer stirrup. That's all. and in a full sitting position, not a hunter seat or 2-point or 3-point position, incline forward for your gallop or your over fences. But in a sitting position, excuse my dog's barking.
We love that.
I know. And they're my friends. Stop it. And balance, it's all about balance. Balance in all disciplines. It's amazing. My first thing when I teach riders, in fact, I'm going to a clinic this weekend, and it's all new riders. And when I just emphasize the first session on correctness of position and help improve people, the horses, the problems they want to work on and the challenges they want to work on, horses are already improved with it. It's amazing.
Really? So even in reining sometimes, like to me, it looks like their cues are a little bit different than what you would think of, your heel underneath your hip. And a lot of times they get their feet out in front of them a little bit more. Am I watching people ride reining incorrectly, or is it just a little different?
Well, in each discipline, you might have a variance of position for a particular, thing that they're doing, for instance. I'm going to relate it to cutting, okay? Believe me, if I don't have my feet in front of me and pushing forward on that horn, when that horse cuts the cow, I'm going to get out of position.
Right.
So a lot of times in reining, I know in the stop, and I rode with Tim McQuay, Doug Milholland, Bob Loomis, Bobby Avila. You watch those guys go down and start to do a stop. It's just like you can imagine the same thing in a dressage saddle. Their legs are underneath them, but their legs are going to move forward as the horse is sliding in a stop, so they don't lose their balance forward.
Mm-hmm.
You see, gotcha. So the cues are it's universal. I mean, there's a natural way to cue the horse. It's with our seat, our legs, and our hands. And our leg aids work on controlling from the wither to the top of the tail. The rein aids control from the pole to the wither. Well, and it should be universal for any breed of horse or any riding discipline.
Well, and, you sure have been an inspiration to a whole lot of people.
So.
Western
really, and that's why I love the dressage. And it is, dressage is a French word that means training. Well, it's training the horse to teach him naturally how to do things, so he does it willingly through his behaviors and habits and his breed characteristics for the performance to function that he should be doing. And it's all about the rider being in balance and communicating with that horse in the way that you can communicate with him, and that's through the seat, legs, and hands. So in other words, we improve riders to improve their responses, their training, educating their own horses.
Where can people find out the schedule so they can watch the show?
Of course, online at hrtv.com.
And that's a wrap. If you just loved listening to the Horses in the Morning Gang putting in their 2 cents on all things horse, you can tune in every weekday at horsesinthemorning.com for fascinating interviews, news stories from around the horse world, clever contests, and general horsey hijinks. You can also find lots more tips about topics ranging from barn care to websites for horse people on the horsetipdaily.com. Just look for the topics drop-down menu on the left. And don't forget to support our sponsors here on Horse Tip Daily because they make these podcasts possible. Today's podcast has been brought to you through the generous support of Kentucky Performance Products. You can find them online at kppusa.com. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.